But are you likable? You got jokes, you're the host, stand up. Are you likable?
In the vein of what I was thinking, like something.
Really?
So,
I'm
Kristina,
like,
let's hear it.
I'm partial to Busta Rhymes, I think.
Busta Rhymes.
Yeah,
I
like all the MOP tracks that I don't know. I like that. It's
MLP tracks?
MOP.
What are those?
It's a like group that he featured on, but they're good.
MLP.
Oh.
Oh.
Like mop.
Mop.
But not.
Mop tracks.
Yeah. Mop tracks.
Okay. What about you, buddy?
Just not dirt.
Mop. I love that you're schooling us on hip hop right now. If you looked around this table, Kristina would have been my last guess. But
Oh, well, there's your lesson.
I didn't know Busta Rhymes was in a group.
He's not really right now, but early on there was and even early aughts, there was more people he featured with and played with.
Gotcha. So mine, I was listening to it on the way here. That's what made me think of it was Build Me Up Buttercup by The Foundation.
Oh, that's good.
Build Me Up Buttercup.
Why do you
Build me up, Buttercup, baby. Yeah, okay.
That's like a bar mitzvah song for sure.
What?
It is, yeah.
No way.
I mean, I've been to so many where that played. So in my mind,
Are
totally.
you Jewish?
No, well, I'm from Long Island, so actually, technically,
yeah,
yes, but also by association.
That adds up.
Yeah.
That song
That
always
adds
makes
up.
me think of the movie There's Something About Mary. I think it's the post credits. I could be totally wrong. But
Jewish people or?
Build Me Up Buttercup.
No, Build Me Up Buttercup. No, I think I just remember that if I recall correctly, the credits roll, Brett Favre got the lady, and everyone's happy.
Brett Favre got the girl at the end?
And There's Something About Mary. Have you never seen There's
No,
Something
I've
About
seen
Mary?
it. It's just been so damn long.
I've seen it,
since-
but I also can't claim to remember the ending track of anything.
Who
So
gets
that's
the girl?
good.
I have
Yeah.
a weird thing where I'll stereotype music by like the movies that you'd see it in. Like I'd be like, this is an Adam Sandler ass song. Like this is
Oh, yeah.
like
Well,
Leonard Skinner.
Yeah, but he also picks like these like random like late 80s, early 90s songs that like always fit his movies too. Like Fool for You. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just a fool for you. That was in Click, just randomly.
It's all The Wedding Singer if The Wedding Singer kept going.
Yes,
Like just
yes,
that vibe.
yeah.
He likes that a lot.
He was very inspired to create movies that way.
Yeah.
I'm going to read the intro here, guys.
Cool.
Hello and welcome to Likable, a show where we discuss stand-up comedy and from an entry-level perspective. I'm your host, David Stickle. Today I'm joined by Gabe Baldizzi and Kristina Steens. I don't know your last name, Kristina.
It's Mercer.
Mercer. No Mercer for anybody. Yeah, how are we doing today, guys?
Good.
Good.
Chill.
Okay. This is
Caffeinated.
we're doing well, talkative-wise.
Happy to be here, sir.
Happy to be here. It's weird that we've been recording for 3.5 minutes now, and it's weird now. It's weird because I'm just like, hey guys, we started.
No, I always say
started.
that thrilled to be here is the only sentence that keeps me from being famous. That's what I like to say.
Really
Because
thrilled to
I'm
be here.
not thrilled to be anywhere except here.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That felt hollow. Very hollow.
I suddenly don't believe you.
Yeah. That hurts me.
Well, that's just an existential depression kind of thing. But, outside of that, love you guys.
Are we depressed, guys?
I think the basic human level. If you're not,
Chronically, medically, I mean, I got a lot of milligrams going through my blood right now. So I'd say yes. Affirmative.
you know what's been throwing me. So with my new job schedule, I've told you guys a bit about it. Where I'm working 6 a.m. to 12 p.m. now. I get home from some of these comedy events like midnight or 1 in the morning. So I'm getting 4 hours of sleep before work, and then just to be able to have my brain still somewhat there for these events, I'm napping when I'm home, and that's like usually a depressed state thing for me if I'm just napping midday for 2 hours at random points, and I have to almost like remind myself like, you're not depressed, you can sleep.
No, it's healthy. As you get older, learning to nap is a key skill, I will say. As someone who fought it for so long, you will come to love it.
It's adulting for sure.
Yeah.
I had super bad insomnia
Yeah.
as a youth, so I don't know. This is the first time in my life where I'm like able to actually nap and be like,
So
I'm somewhat of a normal.
is the act of laying down to take a nap the depressing part, or is it waking up from the nap and have it still be like early evening the depressing part?
I think it's more so. When I'm going down for the nap, I feel tired. It's one of those things where
Okay.
it's like, oh, this is a need, not
Oh,
like
this is happening.
Yeah.
Like when the uncle locks the door, like, oh, this is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying last night, I was like, oh, they keep trying to make Elon and Kanye autistic, which is just offensive. It reminds me of like if you were to say that your rapey uncle was an anthropologist. It's the same logic. So I appreciate that one. But yeah, I feel like the fucked up nap is like when you overdo it and then it's like dark outside and you've wasted a whole day. But I will also not sleep on my back at all because it is too like coffin reminiscent. I don't like it. So I'm a stomach sleeper for sure.
I sleep on my belly as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gabe?
How do you sleep?
Care to share how you sleep? How do you sleep at night, you son of a bitch?
I sleep on my side.
Okay,
And this is the thing. I think when I met Kristina, you remember I had my arm in like a
Cast.
in a cast.
Yeah.
I had like wrist surgery at that point. So if I sleep on the left side, it's still sometimes I wake up with like aching and it's not as comfortable. But that's still for whatever. That's my go-to comfortable side. So
Yeah.
I'm like still trying to figure out a way to like.
It's better for your stomach acid too. You get less like acid reflux and stomach issues
On your left side.
on your left side.
Left
yeah.
side.
Saeed? Left Saida.
Left side.
Left Saida. All right, cool. So we're gonna let the crowd know who
Okay.
y'all are. Okay.
Good.
Speak on yourselves. Okay. We'll start with Mr. Baldizzi here. Gabe, where are you from? What do you do? What are you doing around here?
My name's Gabe Baldizzi. I'm 24 years old.
Do you like long walks
You're
on
in
the beach?
for a crime. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm from Kingston, New York. Originally, I've moved around quite a bit. Like moved to Virginia Beach, Virginia. Shout out VA, 757. I moved there the day after my 18th birthday.
Hell yeah.
Damn.
So I got out quick, and then moved to Jersey for a year after that. Then was in Albany for a year after Jersey. Then back to Kingston for the time being.
Cool. Life story. And just real quickly, how long have you been doing stand-up?
A year and a couple months now. Just a little bit over a year.
Entry level perspective. Christine.
Hi. It's me. I'm from Long Island, as we mentioned before, with the bar mitzvah.
Super
That is my hometown, Port Washington to be exact. I lived there until I was in college. Then my parents moved. They're in PA now. I refuse. And so I've hopped around, but I came up here from the city in like 2015. So it's almost 10 years. It's cool and depressing, depending on how you look at it. Again, it's a milligrams game.
Word. And how long have you been doing stand-up?
Literally 6 months, like whenever the first night mic was. So that's
God damn.
That was your first time doing stand-up, was that, Mike?
That's why I'm a nervous Nelly, or was, yeah. So, but I mean, I've always loved it, but I just never. This is weird, but like I didn't think I could do it, and I think that's like a self-identity issue. But it's also just like when there are really funny people in your life, and I'm like, oh, I'm not a class clown. I'm not like a funny person outwardly. Like I'm pretty snarky, but. It took me a long time to be like, oh, actually, great comedians are kind of quiet sometimes and kind of shy sometimes and like observers of things. And so once I locked into that, I was like, oh, okay. But yeah, recent.
Huh. Did you set up an open mic without performing before? And your goal was to set up an open mic so you could perform for the first time?
Yeah, well, I had done like a couple of like one-offs in like down in Brooklyn when I was there, just because I was like also very depressed, and this is a theme, and just trying to get the fuck out of my skin. But that was just like need to know basis, like a very quiet, undertaking. And then I was like, well, fuck it. Now it had been the pandemic. I was doing a lot of like screenwriting. There was a strike. I was waiting on people. I just had nothing going on. So I was like, you know what? Let me go on it.
Huh.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Gabe, when did you what was your situation for the millions of listeners at home? What was the setup to start doing stand up for you?
So I guess somewhat like Kristina in this regard, I had done a little bit of writing like during the pandemic. Me and my brother conceptualized an animated TV show idea, wrote like a 3-episode epilogue for that. And then, I just kind of was in a bit of a rut for a while. I was actually just talking about this with that lovely lady I just met prior.
Lorelei at the Croak.
Lorelei, you were lovely, but
she'll never listen to this.
But
Nobody believes.
No, I was telling her about I kind of was in a bit of a rut, and I took this trip to Costa Rica and got mugged while out there, and it was a very just crazy, like scary experience. And then
That'll do it.
when I got back home, I was it was one of those things where even during that situation happening, I was like, if I make it out of this alive, like I kind of had the thought of like, what's something that I haven't tried in my life that I would have regretted not trying? And part of me was like, I've always loved stand up. Like there was little seeds planted. Like that year I lived with my brother, he had mentioned at one point, like we should try an open mic at some point, just because the whole show was kind of like setting up situations to write jokes in, and like we all like to make each other laugh. It's just we never thought about trying it in that medium. So then when I was writing, like, 'cause I wrote that whole story, you know, about getting mugged, like, into a screenplay, and it was a little bit still too fresh, and I was, like, putting myself mentally back there, and I found, like, a way to counterbalance it was to think of things that made me laugh, like, what's something that I find funny. So then I started writing little bits and jokes, and I was writing a whole lot more of those than the screenplay for a long time, and then I'd say it was maybe 3 months from Costa Rica to then the first time I got up. I'd moved back to Virginia Beach for a little short stint at that point, so I looked at it like I have my anonymity here. If I suck, nobody here knows me. So
Yeah. So.
which I did for sure.
As you should.
Yeah. Your first time, I think you're supposed to suck.
Yeah, you
Like
get
part of it.
You get like 2 laughs throughout a 4-minute set, and you're like, I liked that part. I liked where they laughed at and it's just you just figure out through trial and error how to get more of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, I feel like a lot of new stand-up like open micers like don't realize that like when they go to an open mic, like they're not gonna get laugh. I mean, like we've been doing it for a minute now, and like we still don't expect to get laughs at open mics, you know, because it's like comedians are listening to you. You know, that's
The worst
largely
crowd.
only. Yeah.
yeah, it's fucking brutal. Yeah, so I'm still learning how to host a show here, guys.
You're doing great.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
I'd say you're
Good
very
time.
likable, David.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm self-branding at this point. Actually, I don't think you can catch
This is
it.
terrible. I hope you don't mind me mentioning this. All I could imagine when you're telling me the name of the podcast, Likable.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember when Brittany, friend of the show,
End of the show.
she'd brought up she was talking about some of our car conversations.
Yep.
She's like, could you imagine if some of these were just broadcasted and out there to the world or whatever? And I was thinking about the conversation you were telling me about when you were managing the gym, and there would just be like an old lady like just saying the worst shit to him and like giving him a hard time. And he
Yeah,
was
they
like,
do that.
he was like saying this to me, and David, by the way, is a very nice man. He would never do anything like this. But he was
Good
saying
preface.
This whole show is a ruse.
he was saying from like a primal standpoint, where it was like this like little lady just talking crazy to him because this is a situation where you're at work and you can't really say or do anything. And I just remember, and I was the one that said this, not David, another preface, but I was like, yeah, imagine you just leaned in and you're like, oh, fucking, you know, I could kill you later.
But the thing is like I think that in my head, you know.
Oh, you know, it's just your
Yeah.
inner model. But it was for some, I kept thinking about, like, you know, I could fuck you up. And then it's the theme song you played, the Likeable line.
I tell you, my years of customer service has given me so much inner peace of just like when someone's treating me like a dog, I'm just like, you know, I'm so fucking big compared to everybody else. You know,
Yeah.
like I could just beat the shit out of most people. I don't, which makes me
Yeah.
feel like a nice person. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, same, David. That's how I
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm so proud of
brony.
you.
Yeah.
So proud of you, Gabe, for not beating anybody to death.
But I think we all have that. We're like all internally and externally, some of us cynical, which I appreciate. Like I don't really need anybody to like me, but I also don't like when people start shit. So I've also been in those customer service situations.
Yeah, customer service fucking sucks.
I think that's just going off what you said with the not really needing people to like you, that I found that freeing in stand up. Like I think when I started doing a little better in it was when I accepted like I want people to laugh at this, but at the same time, like
It's for
I know-
me.
I'm gonna do what I find funny, and like if it splits the room 50-50, so be it. Like I don't know, that's almost my advice to anybody else I've talked to that's also in this, where I'm like, stop trying so hard to make the people like you. If you're just doing what's authentic to you, not to speak in cliches, like people will gravitate to it. It's better than
Also, if it's funny. Yeah.
yeah, just
Yeah, that kind of helps.
yeah, just be funny. Yeah. But for different people, what's funny to them is different. For me, my sense of humor skews pretty fucking dark. Can we cuss on that?
Yeah, I've cursed like 50 times already.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
He's got editing capabilities if he needs.
I'm not actually good at editing, so the least amount of editing possible would be ideal for me.
We'll make you work.
Yeah, work it, bitch. Oh wait, there's a light up here I'm supposed to turn on.
Whoop.
I don't know.
Do we need it?
I don't know.
Does that help?
You know what? They just tell me to do it.
Perfect.
And that's how I do a lot of things. People have told me to do it.
Well, you're likable that way, yeah.
Exactly. Call back.
Malleable is
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Right.
You're good with words.
It would be fun if you just edited it. So I said something like "yes, please," and you bleeped the yes. You dropped the Mom. What did he say right there?
Yeah, I'm actually just doing this whole podcast just to get you people incriminated. For a bunch of
Numbers would climb.
What do you mean by you people, David?
people. White people. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a secret agent here.
You got me.
Yeah, I've been in whiteface this whole time. I'm working on so much stuff that's just going to get me canceled over, it was so funny because like, I won't say who, but a local politician asked me if I wanted to run in an upcoming election on the local level. And I'm like, are you aware of what I'm doing with my free time? And they're like, no, what? And I was like, I just showed him a clip of my stand-up.
I was like, never mind.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, probably can't use you now. And I'm like, yeah, it's on the internet. So
Politician David Stickle has peers that have sex with pocket pussies.
Has a lot of content about pocket pussies.
But I just like it because no one could like mudsling at you in like a campaign. You just put it out there first. I mean, honestly, that might be what politicians need.
Yeah, honestly, currently there is a stand-up comic running the country. So I mean, I just feel like
I
feel like there's a market.
I think
for
all
us.
our brain went to the same thing. I was like, this dude was just like, sometimes you just grab him by the pussy.
Yeah.
It's the era that we're in.
It's so funny. He's just up there running bits, and it's just like, son of a bitch. Like he didn't even polish that premise, but it's good. It's good. It's gonna hit.
And
with
now
half
it's
the crowd.
policy.
Now it's policy. Yeah. Yeah, that's so funny.
Kind of.
God bless America. So goddamn.
America.
I'm so sad and proud at the same time.
Right. Yeah, that's valid.
I feel like I've got a bright future.
That's you know what though, because people that are too incubated in the news, I think I'm using that word the proper way. People that are watching too much news, they're
Inculcated is also another one.
Good.
God damn it.
Christina's my synonym lady. She's she kills it. No, but I think that they're just a lot of the times if you watch it, it's easy to fall into that doom and gloom thinking where it's like, oh, things are really bad right now, this and that, and it's like, life's pretty good. Like we're all doing pretty good. Go outside, read a book. Like I don't know. Like obviously that it's not the greatest situation for everybody. Like if maybe it's not who you wanted to win policy wise, but I've got faith in us as Americans. I got faith. I got faith. We're very what's the word?
Malleable again.
Malleable. Let's use
Adaptable?
malleable here.
All right.
Yeah.
Thesaurus Rex over here. I mean, I just think
Resilient was the word.
Oh, there we go.
Land me in my place.
By no means do I want this to be a political podcast at all, but I think we're gonna fuck around and find out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, too late. We're there.
Pendulums are gonna swing.
We are
and,
finding out.
We'll figure it out over time.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to touch grass for sure and just like slow things down if you can, if that's
Yeah.
your ability to do that.
So I guess last thing on, just because obviously we don't want to go full political swing on that. Because that's one of the, I never really talk about politics in stand up. If I ever brought it up, it's been very rare. Like after the election, I did like one quick joke, and it was almost I tried to have it be as middle ground as possible. Where I was like, regardless of whether the left or right wins, the other side acts like a fucking spoiled brat now. Like I think I said like your sore loser sibling when they lose in mini golf. And I'm like, I want to tally the scores myself. It was a stupid little quote, but it was one of those things where people take anything in that conversation too serious. So I'm like, there's so much other stuff in stand-up to
I just
talk
don't
about.
think
Do you feel that way also?
Mm-hmm. I don't think it reads well. I didn't mean to talk over you. I have ADHD.
No, that's
I just think like it's not very funny. Like I watch PBS NewsHour every night, okay? But I am not bringing it to Mike's because what the fuck?
You watch PBS News every night?
I do.
I'm more a BBC kind of guy.
I think we found out why she's depressed.
But, you know, in a fair and tempered way because it's PBS.
Yeah.
I miss Judy.
I think comedy is like a good way to have escapism. You know what I mean? And like, it's not that I don't think there's funny political humor out there. I just think like you have to be so good at it to make it funny. Yeah. And like at an open mic, like entry level, like we are. Yeah. I mean, I feel like it's just tough. You know what I mean? Like, you know, a quick little joke about, you know, the spoiled brat, like making a comparison like that. Like, that's cool. You touched on it like real quick. And then it's just like, oh, we pointed out this thing. But like, when Trump got shot, right? I knew what I was going to hear from 60% of comics going to open mics that week. Yeah. And it was just like, so we all heard Trump got shot, right? And it's just like, yeah, the 5 guys before you said that already, man. You know, it's like one of those things where it's like, you know, I feel like politics makes comedy less creative in a sense. Because, I mean, like, for example, like SNL, taking shots at SNL right now, for the next 4 years, very lazy writing staff I feel like they're going to have, you know, because it's just like they're just going to pull from what they see in the news and then just make fun of that for an hour. You know what?
I feel like this is a good place to go with this. That's a lot of times how I feel with topical jokes. And not that I'm not, like, there's times where it's like, I'll do one because I feel like I like this joke and I'll just burn it now while it's still useful. But there's no longevity to most topical things. And like for an SNL, that works because they're putting out something on a weekly basis.
Constantly.
Yeah. Also, it's not great a lot of the times. I don't know.
Yeah.
The monologues are still very good, but that's because it's, you know, like someone that we admire in the stand-up space coming in and running and doing their thing. It's not really.
Yeah, or it's like an actor or musician.
And I don't even want to necessarily put it on the writers. There's some great ones in there, but I do think it's just like what's expected now. And I think the format is probably the issue. And I don't know, people hem and haw about SNL all the time, but I also kind of turn it off when it goes impressionistic, like comedy politician. So.
No, that's rough. Good point. As I was saying it, I was thinking, I'm like, every generation is like, SNL sucks now. It used to, and it's just, it's cyclical in that way where it's always.
Yeah. Well, the bits like I remember from SNL are always like that couple in the hot tub, which was Rachel Dratch and Will Arnett. Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell. And then just like, you know, bits Adam Sandler used to do. Like it's seldom like, you know,
people who went on to have careers.
Yeah. I do like the political stuff that I do remember is when Tina Fey used to do a killer Sarah Palin impression. Like that was amazing when she used to do those. But I mean, that was like very short lived, you know?
Yeah. Think about her right now. She started all of this. No, I'm kidding. But the Tea Party was a definite entree into where we are now. But I am like, what is she doing now?
Sarah Palin?
Yeah, she was so under the bus for a minute, and now she's, you know, just in an iceberg. I don't know.
It's like she's frozen.
Yeah,
like Walt Disney,
cryogenically waiting to come back for her time.
One day, Sarah Palin will emerge.
Can you imagine if she was the sole survivor of the human race?
Oh my god!
I'd watch that. Someone write that.
Yeah. What is it, Encino Man, where they unthaw the cave person, and it's Sarah Palin in the year 2150.
Yeah. You know who it's gonna be? My brother joked about this before. It's gonna be Joe Rogan.
They choose to freeze?
Joe Rogan, they're not going to have to freeze. He's just going to live that long.
Yeah, the protein in his veins. He already looks like a caveman, so it'd be funny to send him forward instead of back. What?
Yeah, well, this was part of my brother had a very good theory on this. He's like, what if Joe Rogan is just an alien? And he's doing this podcast, interviewing all these different people just to collect data on the human race. Yeah, the dude's really into aliens. One of the things where it's maybe he's just trying to cover his tracks a little bit.
Right.
Calling you out, Rogan.
That's how I'd play it.
Yeah, podcast attacking Rogan.
He'll never hear this. It's fine.
Unless you ever want to have me on, then that'd be
I know.
Privilege.
It'll happen. They'll do a deep dive if we ever get onto the Rogan sphere. God damn it. It's we should jump off politics.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, politics segue adjacent, I guess. bits that work and don't work in different towns. So like for the millions listening at home, the Gabe and Kristina are here together because we are, as I've dubbed this, the road dogs.
Love it.
Basically, we're a carpool gang.
My dog's at.
The most intimidating of gangs.
So intimidating.
We'll get right in an HOV lane.
I was just thinking before, me and Kristina have like fierce cat energy. You might be the only one that has dog energy.
I'll be a dog. I'll be whatever
if I'm
you need me to be.
Yeah, if I'm a dog, I'm definitely like a bulldog that's like stuck in a wheelchair.
Just slowly choking on it, flabs of its own skin.
Yeah,
Kristina's
a lot of drool.
Pomeranian energy, I think.
Oh, all right.
Oh, wow.
All right.
Okay. Gabe, what kind of dog do you think you are?
Jack Russell.
Jack Russell.
That's a good one. I think I'm like my dog. I actually own like a little Jack Russell Chihuahua, where I think in my head I'm bigger than I actually am. Like
I picture you being one of her dog shakes all the time because you're always cold.
My dog does always shake.
Yeah.
My dog has like my secondhand anxiety. I feel terrible for that. That's how you know I'll made it when my dog gets to be on the same drugs as me.
Yeah. Well, I'm putting my dog on Prozac. Real story. And actually, Jill, who we do mics with, shout out Jill, is my vet, which I just found out the other day, and it's super sweet.
Shout out Jill.
Yeah, but there she's Dr. Rutherford. I don't want to,
You
blow
just
up her
doxed
spot.
her.
Yeah.
You didn't want to blow up her
She's very
spot,
pro.
so
She's very professional.
You said her full name.
Yeah, but I should also give the professional work context.
Oh, word.
Social security number.
Yeah, here we go. Ready?
Address. So you're saying bits that work in some towns?
I guess we can just kind of talk about, because we've done Albany, Kingston, Rhinebeck, we've done spots in Poughkeepsie, we've done Beacon, we've done West Nyack, and I think all the places, and the city now, and I think all the places are a little bit different. I guess just thoughts on that kind of stuff. I have to remember to be closer to the microphone.
Great.
Just thoughts, huh?
Doing great.
I know. Like, this is like easily going to be the most homemade podcast of all time.
It should be. That's how you learn things.
Yeah. It'll be fun. And people will listen because it'll be fun because they know us.
We'll manifest it. I'm a white girl. I can say that.
Yeah. It's gonna my whole goal for this podcast is to get one sponsor.
Nice.
And once I get one sponsor, it's fucking over for
somebody
everybody.
Somebody throw out a sponsorship.
Yeah, shout out Helix.
Yeah.
Fuck being mainstream. You're gonna be everyone's favorite podcaster's favorite podcaster.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. The chaperone of Potters.
I hate to run bits. I was there's one I used to say, it was a quick throwaway where I was like, I'd rather be Dave Attell than Dave Chappelle. White.
I like that.
Right. It rhymes.
And that is true. So different. The podcast note thing. This is clearly going to be the podcast's favorite podcast. You know that thing that we all do that we put a lot of our time and effort into. We want to listen to the guy that's not good at it. The guy that really fucking sucks.
Just to feel better about ourselves.
Yeah. It makes us feel good.
Yeah.
But
David's a killer comic, by the way. He is not giving himself enough credit.
Yeah.
a comic.
Killer stand-up. One of those things I saw this guy, said, wow, what a terrific stand-up.
No, not you, not Chappelle or Attell.
Well,
They're
both of them
David.
are, actually.
Yes, but he was referring to you.
I know.
We
don't have to pick Dave's here. You know, like just being mentioned at the same
all
time.
three rank pretty high. Yeah, ready?
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I want to be the third Dave mentioned every time when those people get brought up.
That's a good trio. I take
You either have to fuck or marry Chappelle or you're racist.
Yeah, I think you do, right?
Oh, we're doing a fuck, marry, kill. Chappelle, Dave,
the Daves?
Stickle, or Dave Attell.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Can you imagine being married to Dave Attell? I
No.
love Dave Attell, but there's that bitter energy.
I think he can't imagine it either.
Yeah. I'd probably just kill myself first.
Right.
And then
Let me make this easy.
Yeah, I'm pretty cool like
I'd be
that.
like, oh, that was my thing.
We've gone off track here.
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's
bits
cool.
in different towns.
Bits
I
in
got
different
you.
towns. All right, so like I'll start. Like I think it's a lot easier to get away with more raunchy stuff in like West Nyack. You know what I mean?
1,000%. Yeah.
1,000%. Right? I mean,
The
kinda,
downstate crowd.
yeah, I kind of treat it like a bar crowd, you know, or a bar show, where you just say like perverted shit or just like pretty ignorant shit, and it works.
Yeah. Sorry I hate not to cut you off there, but the first thing that popped in my brain was you said like perverted shit. I thought of the one that I've said in Nyack where, and it's worked in a few other places too, but it was definitely some places where people are like, "Oh Jesus Christ!" Where I just go, "You guys like dogs?" I always wonder when dogs have sex missionary. Do you think they call it human style? And I know what you're thinking. Dogs don't have sex missionary. Well, they do when I fuck them.
Is that why you're a Jack Russell? You're trying to win over a lady dog? A lady Jack Russell? A Jane Russell?
I think we found out why his dog is shaking.
Yeah. That's a whole other prescription.
It's not the anxiety.
Yeah. Goddamn.
No, it's I don't do a lot of controversial
You don't do a lot of dog fucking jokes?
I don't do a lot of dog fucking
That's your
jokes.
wheelhouse.
Yeah, I leave that to Gabe, but I haven't done a lot of that. But what I will do is I'll lightly touch pedophilia.
just a tickle?
Yeah, just a tickle. Yeah.
Hilarious way to preface.
When mom's out of the room, I'll lightly touch pedophilia.
Yeah,
jokes. And that always hits down there. It's amazing because, probably half of the comics in the room have been touched.
Oh, I would say,
Yeah.
judging by a room of comics, yeah, those are good ads.
Definitely. But it won't work in Kingston. I don't think.
And this is like where Gabe and I are as hometown, like hail
Yeah.
from. I've noticed there's like a difference in how things are received for sure. And I don't know if it's because people are in a particular age bracket or just more sensitive generally. Like it's just this is me being sensitive about calling people sensitive. But yeah, I don't know. I do notice there's a gap there in just what they're able to kind of like, reach for, go with you on.
Like a thigh gap.
Like a thigh gap, yes.
I want to be fair to Kingston though.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, maybe it's I've gotten more comfortable in stand up and that's been the difference where I just seem more comfortable. It goes back to what I was saying before with the like I don't care if you guys like this or not. I think this is funny and I'm going to run this. That's what this open mic is for. But I've noticed my darker material actually going over much better than it used to. In Kingston.
Okay.
I think that as there's been more of a reoccurrence of shows and events, people are this is how it should be, but now they're coming and they're like, oh yeah, this is stand up. Like I shouldn't be taking anything they're saying up there too literal or serious.
Good.
I've done pedophilia jokes. You guys have heard. We had Kristina. I have to bring this up.
Yeah, do it.
2 weeks back, we're at Mahoney's in Poughkeepsie, and this one girl, Josie, comes up and she's like, "Hey, you're the comic, you're the stand-up, right?" And I'm like halfway like asleep. I'm a little bit out of it. I'm just like, "Yeah, thank you." I just said thank you. She just literally not. She's like, "You do stand-up," and she didn't say you're a great stand-up or anything like that. I was just immediately like,
Just
yeah,
an identifier.
No
yeah.
big deal. I do stand-up, and she's like, "You're the one with all the pedophilia stuff," and I was like, "That's me."
Wrestle with that.
I remembered. I'm like, yeah, a month ago I was running a pedophilia joke heavy set at Mahoney's.
Which is funny because it's all musicians. And so Gabe and I have kind of taken over just like this weird little pocket where we say lewd things and hope that somebody listens. It seems actually to be going better and better as we go. So shout out there too. But yeah, I don't know. I always feel like I don't know if I'm the right person to ask about that because I feel like none of my bits like do well anywhere. And so that's something that I'm struggling with. I don't know that I can really gauge it in. But again, I haven't decided if I care yet,
Okay, so two things.
Yes.
Do we think that because the comedy scene in Kingston really only had Out to Lunch to start, and now you've added the Night Swim mic, and AJ's added the Tubbies mic, and I'm not missing any mics other than the O Positive one, right? Or is that, what's the...
He's doing the Camp Kingston one right now.
Camp Kingston one just started, but there was that other one that you did,
Unicorn.
The Unicorn.
Yeah.
So there's... but comedy is still relatively new to Kingston.
Yes.
So do we think that maybe they're more sensitive because they're still adjusting to like, what the fuck is this?
I don't know. And I even hesitate to just like, I feel like certain audiences anywhere will be that way. But I want to give Kingston props also because we're like in this weird boom. It's great. It's like this real renaissance of just like creative energy. And so I'm really trying to harness that without like over analyzing it too much. I really have like met so many cool people, both of you included. Like, I just think something is happening and it's such a cool wave to ride, I don't know.
Something's happening here.
Yeah. What it is, we'll find out.
No, so my theory on this, and it, I don't know, it kind of dawned on me in going to the city a few times and doing stand-up there, where I felt same deal again. Maybe it's a coincidence thing, as I've gotten just figured this out a little bit more. And again, I don't want to sound like we're still entry level here. Like I might look back in a year or two from now and be like, I fucking blew. What did I like? But
Stupid.
yeah, no, but stuff in the city I found that was like a little more risque, so to speak, was going over good. And I was like, yeah, this stuff seems to work everywhere but Kingston. And I was like, part of me thinks we have got gentrified a little bit. We had a lot of that like gentrification crowd, like the Brunswick people have moved to Kingston.
Okay.
And I don't know, I think with that comes that like woke PC mentality, which I'm all for, like being progressive and, you know what I mean, forward thinking. It's just sometimes they don't have the greatest mindset for a comedy show, for an audience, so to speak. Like, that's where I was like, you're taking this a little bit too literal. Like I do a joke about Drake Bell, where I'm a hypocrite, by the way, I realize, because I'm like, topical jokes fucking suck. And then like, you guys hear about this quite a bit. No, but I would do a Drake Bell thing where I was like, I would never, ever defend what those Nickelodeon producers did. Well, the kid was a fucking hunk. I mean, go on. And the whole point of the joke was to purposely try to lose him a little bit. And I guess you could say that one made it quiet on set.
Yeah.
It was a stupid fucking joke, but like, there was times where I don't want anyone walking away like,
That's his best.
is he actually trying to defend what those producers did? And like,
yeah. I mean, I would hope they're not doing that. But this is, again, kind of goes back to what we were talking about before, but the larger like cultural conversation just around shit like this in general. Like, I don't think it's just Kingston or just the Hudson Valley or just, like, I think you find this everywhere, and probably every comedy community could tell you across towns that this was happening in some fashion. So I don't know. I think we'll ride it out. Like, I really am seeing and kind of hopeful that in the future we meet each other in the middle again and it becomes less of a thing.
We're going to ride out Drake Bell.
Yeah.
I like how your topical reference is like 2 years old at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like to do topical stuff. It's just like, oh, you got into the archive.
that is an old joke, by the way.
Yeah.
That is not
Before
currently.
he was Drake Campagna or whatever the fuck.
That's when Drake was still young. Like, you did it while it was happening. That's how old the joke is. You guys hear about this Drake Bell stuff?
It's the Drake issue that we're having now. It's the Drake issue of yesteryear.
The other pedophile.
Yeah. I mean,
listen,
I'm not naming my kid that, you know.
For sure. Actually, did you? I always thought that was the Super Bowl halftime. That's what I'm referencing.
Go for it.
I should speak about what the hell I'm talking about. The A on his necklace. I thought that was an Amazon logo until somebody pointed out to me that that's a lowercase A minor. Yeah. Did you know that?
I didn't know that's what it was.
I thought it was an Amazon
It's funny,
thing.
it looked like an Amazon logo,
Yeah.
but then I thought maybe because his brand is like P. Lang, I thought maybe it was the A from the P. Lang thing. But
I heard that from somebody also, so I'm not sure which one it is. But either way, I love it. I just could not love anything about that.
You know what our hot debate
interaction
was
more.
at my brother's place, because we went there for the Super Bowl, and his wife Kelsey, shout out Kelsey, she was saying she was like, he's wearing flare jeans, and we were like,
Yes.
those are boot cut. Boot cut or flare jeans?
Bell bottoms.
So you think bell bottoms?
They are,
Yeah.
okay, as a millennial woman, I will say I've had like 12 pairs of those over my lifetime. I believe they were at one point doing like a mix of both. And all I could think was like, if it was raining that day, just the sludge and the drag of that fucking hem, like I that lives in my brain rent free, and I still have nightmares. So I'm glad it was a dry day because that is like a definite soak shit up pant.
See, I just thought he was wearing boot cuts, and he was wearing the Reebok Shacknosis, these fat ass shoes, old school ones. And I thought that they looked kind of like flare jeans because the boot cut was over the shoe.
Oh.
That was my theory.
I think they're meant to be like a flare or a bell bottom, but who the fuck knows? Some fashion blogger does.
Yeah, I'm the worst person to
Yeah.
This is how. By the way, this is how bad of a game that was. Is that this became the topic of discussion?
I fucking loved it.
Oh, that was a weird thing where I was rooting for the
Yeah.
Eagles, but then it was such a blowout that I was like, well, I wanted it to be still competitive a little bit. Like, fuck, this is.
Just for the sake of the
yeah.
game. I get that.
There's no pleasing, man.
I didn't want it.
Yeah, nobody in Philly wanted that. They were like, eat shit.
Yeah, they're like, fuck the Chiefs. Yeah. That's something beeped. Did you guys hear that?
Yes.
I think
Wasn't
that was
me.
out there.
Might have been
Wasn't
out
me.
there. Wasn't me.
What's she called?
Making coffee on the couch. Wasn't me. Okay, so where are we at here?
Why you gonna get the woman?
What'd you say?
Why
Are
you
you
gonna get the
shagging?
woman next to your deal?
Just do that from now on.
We're just gonna close out the show with 20 minutes of
Impressions.
shaggy impressions. That would
Yeah.
be fucking fantastic. Do you have any bits we're working on? Anything you guys concept wise that we're thinking about? You want me to start?
Sure, go for it.
Cool. I'm trying to figure out why like we have a good old fashioned episode of Scooby Doo, right? And in every episode of Scooby Doo, it's like, oh, it's old Mr. Jenkins, and for some reason in this episode we have to have the Harlem Globetrotters show up. And it's just like, we're gonna solve this mystery with basketball.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but I enjoy that the Harlem Globetrotters walk into Scooby Doo and they're like, oh my god, it's Scoob and the gang, and they're like, the Harlem Globetrotters.
Are they still around, the Harlem Globetrotters?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, they
good.
are.
I've been out of the loop, out of the globe.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
That wasn't a soundboard, by the way, folks. That is
Authentic.
Yeah, no, yeah, we don't have that kind of technology. That's straight out of Gabe's mouth, which
You heard it here first.
you hear other awesome pieces come out of Gabe's mouth. Yeah, sometimes
They're not all about Drake Bell or pedophilia.
They're not.
it is an abundant amount of pedophilia, even to the point where like, she's like, you're the guy with all the
I'm assuming
pedophilia
that's what
stuff.
you were working on. No, I'm kidding. What else are you working on?
No, so this is what I bounced this idea off you a while ago. I want to figure out a way to make this funny. There was a short stint when I came back from Virginia where for pride reasons it was totally self-inflated, but I was like,
I thought you meant the flag. I was like,
Yeah, no, I
cool.
was supposed to say, for gay? Gay reasons?
No, I was not that there's anything wrong with that. I love the gays. Shout out the gays. No, but I was
Come back from Virginia for pride reasons. Gotcha.
No, but I was living like out of my car for like a month or two, and I would like shower at the Planet Fitness or whatever. And I want to find a way to make this funny because I do think that a lot of the stuff I found that people are like, oh, this bit I remember would be like a story from my life, whether it be me and my family talking about Vajankles. Vajankles sponsor me, by the way.
We found your sponsor,
Big fan.
dude.
Yeah,
No, but,
he has a ton of Vajankle material.
Yeah, but I basically I was thinking it'd be very funny because I was like, if I had said I was like basically Planet Fitnesses are 24 hours, so if I basically said my plan was like I would pretend that I just hit a hard workout and I would try to sleep on the couches, but that I also have night terrors and I kept setting off the lunk alarms. I got to find a quick way to kind of get to that and make it funny. I don't know, add a little bit more to it, but I think the thought of homeless people incubating a Planet Fitness and then having night terrors and setting off the lunk alarms makes me smile.
Well, also that one woman got like burned alive in their fucking tanning bed, so you could throw that in there.
It's called a sauna, Kristina.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm not.
Called a
sauna.
schwitz, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
She set the tanning bed to extra crispy.
Yes.
I heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Auschwitz.
Human. Yeah. It's-
We
I can-
almost made
I
it through
can-
a full
I
episode.
can-
without a
honestly, it's
Jewish
on.
pun.
It's on camera. I can see your face trying to say it. You're just like, oh, I gotta fucking say this.
I was waiting.
He said 20 more minutes.
I was like, God, I fucking
Now or
say
never.
it. Auschwitz, so goddamn bad. We were at the
on the
Rhino and Suffering last Friday. Gabe and I, Christina sat home, and
Prone to do that.
what's that?
I'm prone to do that.
Yep, women, man.
Yeah.
So,
Can't take my ass anywhere.
yeah, I know, ridiculous. We were sitting there, and you hit the Auschwitz stick.
Auschwitz, yeah.
Yeah, you hit them with that, and then there was a groan, and then you just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it again. I fucking love that so much.
Double down.
Oh, no, correct me if I'm mistaken. I think the Auschwitz went over well, which, again, fucking hypocrite this whole episode. I was talking about Elon Musk. I was
Yeah.
doing topical stuff. I was talking
Yeah.
about him doing the Nazi salute at inauguration. He was doing like the X with his body at a rally, and I was like, basically the joke. I was just like, he just found his dumb fucking kid's name. Like I think that's what he was doing, and then from there, I talk about people thinking he's autistic. I'm like, he's an autistic Nazi. That's kind of fun to think about. Autistic. He's altruistic, and that one hit. But then it was
good pop out of the crowd.
Then
Correct.
I kind of went a little further with it, where I was like, it is ironic that Jewish people love saunas. No, and I was like, with their family history, you think like a room pots team something they tend to avoid. And I was like, you guys are pulling back on me. Like, this isn't that crazy. Black people aren't avid sailors. And
That's
one of
favorite.
those jokes where like usually the crowd is pin drop silent until I get to that like line about black people not being avid sailors. That's where I want to give Kingston some credit. I did that at Keegan Hills the other night. It was the first time I didn't have to win the crowd back halfway through that joke. They were they were riding with me the whole way. They had faith. Like,
They
all right,
love
he's not just being a dickhead. But
Equal opportunity dickhead.
but at the end of that joke, I just go, I'm like, no, but Jewish people, they love a good schwitz, just not all schwitzes. And basically, from there, I just acknowledge. I'm just like, 2 Auschwitz puns? Like, you were fine laughing at one.
You break the fourth wall and you call yourself out.
Yeah, but 2 Auschwitz puns is where we draw the line. And that's right. Even doing it at Mahoney's last night, this kid there was like, go for a third. I'm like, I can't, Anthony. It's gonna Holocaust me everything. It's just like it's silly. It's good fun.
Yeah, it was
we're having fun.
Yeah.
Love the Jews, but please, I want to work in the
Write in,
business.
listener. Tell us where you draw the line.
Well, I don't know the demographics of this podcast yet, so
I guess we'll find out. I guess you're about to hear some shit, huh?
yeah, I'm gonna definitely get.
Did you listen to Likable? It was awful. It was not very
We're
likable.
so
Well,
likable.
yeah, I'm really hoping I get comedians as an audience in here. Like,
You'll get some.
That's who this is
that'd be
for.
great. I really hope so. The studio that we're in right now, the Epicurean, fantastic. They've been doing more intellectual stuff, so they're like, we could use a dumb guy, and I'm like, yeah, I'm here.
That's me.
Yeah, that's me. I'm the idiot, but we're gonna say inappropriate things sometimes. For the crowd that might be offended listening at home, everybody laughs at those jokes, regardless of race or ethnicity.
They do. Your fellow
they
man is
laugh.
disgusting.
Yeah. What's racist is, I think, when people look at the black person to make sure they can
Oh
laugh.
God.
And that's like, all right, you definitely.
I can feel them
smart.
do it, and I
Yeah.
just refuse. My head just stays very straight all of a sudden. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's just weird. It's a
Yeah.
weird secondhand vibe. Even.
You've officially made them aware that they're the only black person in the room by
which
staring at them to make sure it's okay.
is
to
also
laugh.
a drawback of certain areas that we've been. I would like to see more diverse faces.
certain areas.
Yeah.
Kristina, you got a bit you're working on?
I have so many dumb thoughts all the time. I am trying to crack one about escape rooms right now. This is one that I started a while ago, but I think they're so bizarre. And what the fuck is up with escape rooms? And only Americans could invent something like that, where we're manufacturing a crisis, Because think about Gaza, they're not doing that. I was thinking it would be so funny if someone finally came over from across the Mexican border with a coyote and all that shit, and gave their lives and their sweat to be here, and they have to work under the table at an escape room first thing. What would that job be like? They'd probably keep you in there longer, to be well, this is psycho, suffer a little. But I do think it's funny that we just had to invent something to keep ourselves terrified, because I guess domestic violence is not enough, or whatever the fuck America's bag is, the guns. So yeah, I think it's a weird contraption we've made.
Isn't that what camping is?
Yeah,
It's
and
just
I hate that too.
It's so fun to just go camping and pretend we're homeless for a day.
I fucking hate camping. I'll say it now. I'll say it till I die. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
You don't like s'mores?
I love s'mores, but
you can make s'mores without
At
kidding.
home.
You don't need a fire outside. It's usually, they have these things called ovens.
Yeah. Want to throw in another Auschwitz joke, Gabe?
Yeah. Speaking of s'mores, put
But
them
I
all
was
together.
just thinking,
Who's the graham cracker?
you guys remember Elian Gonzalez? Elian Gonzalez is not doing that. Do we know? Am I old?
I know
The name
Okay.
is ringing a bell.
So here's an Elian Gonzalez joke. His favorite joke was probably I just swam here and boy am I tired. He was a little kid that came over in a tire. Do we remember this in the 90s? What the fuck ever, you guys. But I'm just saying he's not going to an escape room anytime soon. It's too much PTSD.
Maybe he invented them.
Maybe he did. You know what? Get your bag.
I think I've quoted, actually, now that you mention it, an Elian Gonzalez joke.
Really?
Initially, the rough version that never stuck was I just flew an Air Sibian and boy does my ass hurt. But then I use that in a joke now where I was talking about me and an ex trying to use anal lube for regular lube and finding out that it's they have numbing agents in it.
Oh yeah.
Lost all feeling in my penis and her vagina. And basically in that joke though, when I initially a certain beat of it, I'm just kidding. Like anal's not my thing. I only ever did it once. And let me tell you, boy, did my ass hurt, folks.
Just silly.
Yeah, that's kind of where I recycled it and
It's
found
just
a
charm.
place
It's just the
for it.
classic, layup of a thing. It's sweet.
Sodomy, classic.
Yeah, classic.
Classic.
It honestly is. It will outlive us all. It got here first, I think they've written about it in some books.
Memories will haunt us
I
forever.
want to circle back because you're talking about like Nyack. I don't know if Nyack specifically, but a lot of the comedy rooms are talking about like jokes about pedophilia or stuff like that. And you're like, chances like a certain amount of people in the room were like diddled, I guess. Do you think like you get diddle valor or diddle privilege? Like if you were diddled, you kind of get a pass, almost like the N-word pass if you're black. Like you get to make diddle jokes.
Why are you going to make more or less based on that?
I'm all in. I'm making as many.
You're all in?
Because one of those things, if someone did come up to me, it was like, if you're offended, it's like, are you offended on like my behalf, or you yourself diddled?
Yeah. I do think
diddled is maybe not the right word for this serious of a topic.
What did you say? Touched lightly?
Yeah, touch my angel. No, but do you think
Of some sort.
do you think comics that want to do pedophilia jokes but were never molested look at molested comics and be like, "Oh, so fucking lucky, dude"?
Yeah, I do think there is a little bit of that.
I've got
If
so
I'm
much in the chamber.
200% honest, I do think there's like a little bit of that for sure.
Yeah. Oh God, I fucking wish I fucking could say that. So
Yeah.
much, there's.
I think you can. That's kind of where I was going. I don't think it's a prerequisite where it's like you're only allowed to make diddle jokes if you were diddled. But it's just like I don't know. It's one of those things where I imagine the people that are doing that, it's probably just from a place of like, I don't know, comedy can be healing to an extent. Like fucking either you could be sad about some shit, or you could find a way to kind of just make it funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on
Enough about
Medicaid.
it.
I need comedy right now. What's the thing?
I got health insurance for one more year.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're right.
So to answer your question, Christina, you're gonna get a whole lot more diddle jokes.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
I've been raw dogging the health insurance life for a while now.
Yeah.
Unless we get a BetterHelp sponsor, if BetterHelp wants to come to the table.
I think they're
Not doing
busy.
it. I actually
think
don't support mental health.
Yeah, just
keeping
not
me in
into it as a
business,
vibe.
yeah.
Yeah.
David's like, I'm not gay.
Therapy.
Therapy. I'm actually a little upset. I've got like 7 uncles and none of them touched me.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I know.
Those
Do you
are bad
feel-
odds.
That's probably why I have to sleep with so many people. You know?
Right.
So I'm just like
So many uncles.
I wasn't a fucking little piece of ass to you guys.
Yeah.
so,
What the fuck?
That's the thing where I'm like, if you saw me when I was a hot ass 6-year-old, you would have wanted to touch me.
Yeah. Something strikes me as like tight. Toy.
Someone has a
I
joke
was
like
a toy
that.
6-year-old. What
Where
can I
like
say?
they were an altar boy, but they never got touched and felt offended. I don't remember whose joke that was, but
That was there was a South Park
That was
episode.
Mac
where-
in It's Always Sunny. Also.
oh, okay. So a couple people.
I think
The groundwork is there.
Yeah, we're not original. Fuck. Why do we suck at this? God damn it. All right, where are we at here? We're at 52 minutes. That's lovely. We're gonna wrap it up, okay, guys?
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. Did you guys have fun today?
This
So
was a
much
lot of
fun.
fun.
Any closing notes or comments or questions or concerns?
I love this spot. It's very cute and also very high tech, which I am jealous of. But this has been great. Have me back in some capacity.
Oh, yeah,
I hope I was likable. No, I don't. That's a lie. But,
Oh, you know what? That brings me to my segment brought to you by Momitas. Brought to you by the Epicurean, our wonderful host here.
Yeah.
Do either of you guys, do you think you're likable? Who wants to go first?
I have been told, this is actually something I'm also working on, just to like fluff this out a little. I've been told that I've been nice my whole life, but it's a lie. I've successfully tricked you all. I don't know how. I am not nice at all. I prefer to be called kind. I think kind has some teeth on it. Nice, I don't know what that means. It's a very empty, shallow kind of, like the word consent. No one's paying attention. So I don't know. I've been called nice. I like to not believe it in my own vanity, and I prefer kind.
Do you think nice and likable are the same thing?
No. I think likable is more pointed towards some meaning, whereas nice is just like boring. No one's. Okay. I don't know what that means.
Nice is boring.
It is. It is. When you say someone's nice, like, I don't know what the fuck that means. And maybe that's just a me problem, but
True.
If you say nice enough, that qualifier really sells it for me immediately. And I'm like, oh, okay, I know what you mean.
Okay, nice
it's like, you sprung for the cheap seats. How are the seats? Nice enough. Okay, well, you're a cheap ass. That gives me something.
Nice enough, I think, means likable, right?
Nice enough means like they could be nicer. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But then what does that mean? I don't know. This is so existential, David.
know,
This
right?
is the note that I'm going out on. Whatever the
Hate
fuck
you
I'm
guys-
thinking this
hate
shit.
You guys are right at the end with this fucking bullshit.
All right.
What about you, Gabe Baldizzi? What do you think? Are you likable, you piece of shit?
We'll tell you.
I think that initially something I was like, I don't know how I'm being perceived, if I'm likable or not. I think I'm like cilantro, where I think if you like me, you like me, or you really fucking dislike me. I'm like, hey, or I taste like so. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Soapy.
one or the other.
Yeah.
And I'm at peace with that.
I would say here.
Divisive.
I'll throw this on the table. I think all three of us are less likable than we outwardly seem. I think internally we are all, sort of cynical and have some kind of edge, but I don't know that everybody gets to see it. So that's why this is fun.
That's good. I don't know. It's one of those things where unless we wanted to, there's some comedians that are amazing at that, like a Louis Black or a Bill Burr, where it's like they're angry, but their anger like resonates with you, where it's like, oh, that's my internal monologue half the time. I think we're almost the flip side of that, where we've learned to mask cynicism or anger with like humor.
Yeah. Bargazzi just goes home and beats his kids, you guys. Here first.
Bill Cosby, remember that guy? That guy was telling kids to pull their pants up, and look at what he did.
Still a hero to me, even more so now. I get told I'm likable on stage. That's like, I guess, my thing, which is why we went with the name of the show.
Right.
But man, I am just waiting for people to find out how bad of a person I am. I cannot wait.
It's kind of exciting. It's like an album drop. It's like personality drop.
Oh yeah.
So actually, let me cue this clip real quick. I could fucking kill you, old lady.
Oh, he wasn't joking. He was like force choking that old woman.
Right.
Yeah. No,
She liked it.
Yeah, no, good times had by all. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for coming here and spending time with me. We're at the 56-minute mark, which I think is good.
More of us than anyone needs.
More of us than anybody needs. This is not even a full trip to West Nyack from Kingston. We're still about 10 minutes shy, which is crazy. When you
we
think
spend a
about
lot
that.
of time together.
We do way too much. Yeah, which is why we're not excited to talk to each other.
Bye.
Fucking hate you guys. So
People tell you you're likable, dude.
Yeah, let's talk about that now.
yeah, we don't say that when you're not in the car, Dave.
Yeah. God damn it.
Oh, I'm so fucking curious what you guys say in the car when I'm not around you fucking assholes. All right, big thank you to the Epicurean. Likable is filmed and recorded with Radio Free Rhinecliff. Thank you to Jen Hammod and Matthew Rosenberg, our producers. And again, thank you to the Epicurean who hosts us for each and every episode.
Ooh, great coffee.
Woo, yeah, very good coffee. Please come in, stop and shop. Not the store, but us here at the Epicurean.
We're for sale.
Yeah, maybe you'll catch us on air and buy a Helix mattress, because I'm hoping they'll sponsor me soon. And for all those that don't know, Likeable is a comedy-based podcast. We are experts in absolutely nothing and should not be taken seriously. Considers this your daily dose of questionable wisdom and guaranteed hilarity, we hope. Proceed with caution and have a great fucking day. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
For
This is
having
great.
us.